Good evening, class. The AracKnight, brought to you by the new Faro's Lounge Kickstarter. A mere 7% away. 7% away from the goal. With 14 hours to go. Can we make it? 7 more percent. Will you be a part of it? Dr. Octopus survives the plane crash. His tentacles are trying to reunite with his body to kill Spider-Man. We're going to see Captain George Stacy die here, but of course he lives on in our AracKnight story. We are 4 pages in. This is class number 3. We'll deliver pages 5 and 6 when we left off on pages 3 and 4. First, we got Spider-Man and Commissioner Stacy meeting up, saying that neither one of them made any progress. Spider-Man looks a little pissed. Commissioner Stacy's getting a little suspicious. So we cut to Spider-Man swinging across the cityscape as he scans the city looking for any clue to lead him to Dr. O. The Commissioner is a good man. Reminds me a lot of Uncle Ben. But I fear the more I get to know him, the more suspicious he will be. As of right now, we are both on the trail of Dr. O. He's got his police force, I've got my spider sense. Together we've got zilch. Looks like we would have to wait for him to make the next move. Cue the villainous theme music. Citizens of Empire City, by now you're wondering what I have planned for your fate. And you have seen that my boasts are not without warrant. So I advise you all to pay... Somebody said I have the voice from Thunderbolt, Ernst Stavro Blofeld, Spectre. So I advise you all to pay attention, as I do not like repetition. As you all know, I am one of the architects of this metropolis, so I know all of its secrets and all of its weaknesses. This utopia, this cloud city, is but a mere sphere of gleed and gluttony, hanging by a thread, as I will demonstrate. The view over the holographic images over the city change to show the grid of Empire City. We see the large grid show various glowing sections representing the hover technology keeping the city above the rising sea level. As you can see, the magnetic plates that make up the arteries of this city are held together by nanotechnology. With the simple thrust of my fist, I can remove an entire army of nanobots from their purpose and send any neighborhood back to hell. We see on the images a section of the city released from the magnetic plates and power and plummeting down below, an image shown to horrify the city into submission. It is a shot reminiscent of when the dictator released a portion of the city in the Final Fantasy VII, the video game. I originally taxed the mayor for the sum of 20 billion. That does not say billion, it says billion. What the fuck? My threats were met with apathy and ignorance. So now that sum has risen, and all citizens of Empire City are responsible for the burden, to the tune of half of all holdings, half of all currency, half of your worth. Empire City, you have 48 hours to comply. My men will be alone to collect. Further instructions will follow. Do not fail me. Unless, of course, any of you know how to fly. The image changes to show a giant hand gripping Empire City, almost crushing the city into a holographic puff of smoke. I like it. Which brought us to page 4. Close-up on Spider-Man with the image of this crushing city burning into his reflection. My immaturity is about to lead me to do something impulsive, but I'm getting real sick and tired of this mystery man nonsense. It was time to bring the man out from behind the curtain. Hearing the broadcast, Spider-Man turns his attention to swinging towards the Daily Bugle building, in a shot reminiscent of Superman flying into the Daily Planet. It was time to bring the man out from behind the curtain. I knew exactly how to do it, because with great power comes great personality. And now it's time to really ask ourselves the main question. Why do we never see Spider-Man and Dr. O at the same time? So he busts into the studio of Now Magazine. Spider-Man busts in, webs up Jameson in a series of shots and bursts. It's because we interrupt this broadcast for a very special announcement. Close-up on Spider-Man calling out Dr. O, with Jameson webbed up to the wall in the background. Greetings, everyone. This is your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And to get the record straight, I don't work for or represent a coward like Dr. O. I'm a citizen of Empire City, just like you. And I'm not interested in waiting around for some maniac who wants to play demigod. So I'm challenging you, Dr. O. I'm calling you out because I know for a fact that not only are you a coward, you're a fraud. And the only reason you're trying to extort this city is because you're broken out of options, and the rest of the world rejected you. But by all means, if you'd like to prove me wrong and show the city what a big bad you are, I'll be waiting for you on top of Oscorp Tower. Shadow Jameson against the wall as Spider-Man exits like a badass wrestler. What's left of it? So now, I'm swimming around this morning, doing my laps, and I'm trying to think of where I'm going with this. Because we're still early in this graphic novel. The idea is we wanted to get, right, was thinking in terms of plot line, was that I wanted to get it to Spider-Man and Dr. O fight. Dr. O beats the shit out of him with all the cameras on and everything, so Spider-Man's humiliated. But I feel like we've kind of done that back and forth a bit. So I needed to have something more there. Where it can't always just be him being impulsive all the way into literally chapter fucking 4 that he is not learning anything and there's no character development. So I kept on thinking, okay, why is he drawing Dr. O out to fight? It can't just be the typical, I'm going to beat him and then I don't beat him, and what the fuck do I do now? Or I'm going to need Norman Osborn's help, because we still have to figure out how to get Peter and Norman Osborn in that same fucking room so that they can have a quick confrontation and Norman can say, I'm one of many that was after your parents. I like that because, again, it really hammers home no matter when you think you have closure, you don't have closure. You know, I got run over by a drunk driver, and I never figured out who the fuck it was. We'll never figure out who did it. So there's something you can identify with that you don't get closure off bad news sometimes. So that's the goal, is to have Peter lose, need Norman's help. So I want to get there. If I don't get there, it's not the end of the fucking world, but I'm thinking about trying to get there. And again, you can have your own thing, your own direction. But then I started thinking, I was like, so why the fuck is he drawing Dr. Octopus out for a fight to get his ass kicked? And I figured out he's going to plant the old school method was Spider-Man would fight, and you'd always see him flick a spider tracer onto his target so he could track him down. So that's what I wanted. Is Spider-Man gets a tracker onto Dr. O so that he can figure out where the fuck they're hiding. And the idea is he's not going to be hiding in Oscorp Tower because Oscorp Tower, he blew it up. And Osborn got his shit and got out of there. Stark Industry, he could be hiding in the Stark factory, or I thought would be more interesting is the Baxter building, because again, it's abandoned. Reed Richards left it, sold it to Norman Osborn. I thought maybe you have a showdown there, and we can go back into the old Fantastic Four comic books and look at all the cool shit that used to be in the Baxter building. We could have it all still there, and Spider-Man and Dr. O could get to like a really cool Falls Count Anywhere fucking fight. We could even throw Norman Osborn in there. Or I thought about the idea of having Dr. O hiding in a dirigible over the city. So that the idea is that Spider-Man would need Norman's glider to get up there and have a final fight. So there's a lot of different directions we can go here, which is fun. So now we're in our little choose-your-own-adventure portion of our storyline, because we want to close it out right with a good fight, with a lot of fun, but a lot of good imagery for the comic book portion of this particular story. So, what's left of it? So, page 5. The Lizard can find his way to Mayor Osborn. Let's move our notes. Do we have more notes here besides what we're just doing here? Yes. I like the whole Peter and Norman confrontation. So let's move this down to page 7. Our goal today, class, is to do page 5 and 6, to mine some comic books, and to continue our story until its completion. Da-da. All right. Spider-Man just left the studio. Let's just cut immediately. We cut to Nightfall. Over Empire City, where we see several drones. We cut to Nightfall over Empire City, where we see several drones, cameras, and floodlights. Several drones, cameras, dirigibles, and floodlights, all surrounding Oscorp Tower. Because we can have him come up there, and as everything is all swirling around him, he could hit a fucking EMP and just sink all those damn things. Which would be kind of cool, too. We cut to nightfall of Empire City, where we see several drones, cameras, dirigibles, and floodlights all surrounding Oscorp Tower. Which, of course, has been severed by Dr. O. We cut to Spider-Man perched on the top of a section of the rooftop wreckage, waiting patiently for Dr. O's arrival. As he looks on at all of the chaos and cameras around the tower. Suddenly, a massive, clear plasma blast of energy hits the sky. So I don't like the idea of him crawling up the tower because he's already done that. Let's have him drop out of the fucking sky. Cutting through a swath, cutting through a cluster of clouds like the spaceship in Independence Day. We see a large floating AirPod. Suddenly cutting through a cluster of clouds like the spaceship in Independence, we see a large floating AirPod thrust over Oscorp Tower. The canopy of the AirPod opens up. No, we need a dirigible. It shouldn't be a floating AirPod. You shouldn't have that kind of tech. See a large dirigible thrust over Oscorp Tower. The canopy of the dirigible, dirigible ship opens up and drops a large plasma EMP bomb over the tower. The bomb detonates, taking out all of the power around the Oscorp Tower skyline. SFX of the power, cameras, and other ships losing power. SFX of the EMP going off. So we're setting up the page, and now we got to do some dialogue. So we're going to do some mining. Let's just set up the 6 panels. Spider-Man doesn't flinch as all of the floodlights, ships, and cameras and drones slowly plummet away from the scene. He doesn't move as he waits for Dr. O. So I don't know. Should Dr. O jump down? Should he jump down from the dirigible? Yeah, he should. Yeah, see, the idea is you point back up. Spider-Man looks up as Dr. O, as the dirigible floats over him. And what? Spider-Man looks up as the dirigible floats over him and positions. Dr. O comes rolling out of the dirigible, descending towards Spider-Man. Inside his glass shell, his pod transforms, emerging 4 legs, mechanical legs. His pod transforms, emerging 4 mechanical legs that hold him up like a spider as he stares down Spider-Man, as he faces off with Spider-Man. Classic wrestler pose as Spider-Man leaps towards Dr. O in perfect attack formation. With an underhanded tactic, 2 more smaller mechanical arms emerge like spears, jutting out and into Spider-Man, taking him out like a battering ram. SFX of the hit, sheathing of arms. SFX of the hit, sheathing of arms, and Spider-Man taking the hit. So you having fun. So I like this idea as Spider-Man gets up. The idea is as Spider-Man's getting up. Oh, I like this. As Spider-Man is getting up, we see Dr. O plant two of his arms into the wall. Two of his arms into the wall like hooks. SFX of the hooks. Pincing, puncturing the wall of wreckage. So I want to have another panel in a swift motion. Dr. O's arms thrust him into Spider-Man like a wrecking ball. The glass shell nearly crushing Spider-Man. SFX of the wrecking ball attack. So we've written the 2 pages already in terms of art. We don't know if it's going to lay out like this. This is how we're kind of laying it out for the fun of it. And we'll see if it actually sets up and ends that way. But now let's do some mining because now we need some goddamn dialogue. And we got to see if we'll actually keep this. This is just the blueprint of what we think we're going to end up doing here. Let's see if we end up actually doing it. Page 5. Cut to nightfall over Empire City, where we see several drones, cameras, dirigibles, and floodlights, all surrounding Oscorp Tower, which has already, of course, been severed by Dr. O. So let's do this. We're getting to the death of Captain George Stacy, who will no longer be an influence moving forward in our story. He saw Dr. Octopus die, but we know it's bullshit. Because we saw the plane explode, but we never saw Dr. Octopus actually explode in it. It's a Spider-Man. So we see the arts change, and we see this is Gil Kane kind of taking over for John Romita Jr. It changes up how Peter looks a little bit. I think he draws the girls a little bit more sexy. But you can never not give Romita credit. They said no explosion could have destroyed Dr. Ock's steel tentacles. Someone should have found them unless he's still alive and got away. So now he sees good old Robbie Robinson. He's talking with Robbie. Everyone's going to be there. Your girl Gwen's coming. Don't be such an asshole, Peter. Peter throws the newspaper out, but there's Dr. Octopus hiding in the alleyways. Looking. They think me dead. That's just the way I want it. They mustn't expect my next attack. This is a depressing issue because basically this is when Captain Stacy dies. So Dr. Ock's got to hide in the city. Peter Parker's looking around for him. His spider sense, which is kind of fun because what do we have right now going on our story? Peter looking for Dr. Octopus. You see how it all kind of it lines up like almost like it's fate. A city of 8 million people he could be hiding among, so he's looking everywhere. We did this. See how fun it is when it kind of lines up. See J. Jonah Jameson, he fucked him up last issue. Nobody's there except Spider-Man. Silly old Jonah, he could be anywhere. What's with you, Robbie? Afraid to get involved? Air pollution. Spider-Man's swinging around, and all of a sudden he sees him. There he is. Doctor. And this is a great piece of art. Actually, this might be fucking Gil Kane's one of his best pieces of art. Now you gotta go back real quick. You gotta look at this whole page. This is badass. This is fucking Spider-Man on the East Side fucking highway. Now, you grow up in New York City, and this is the kind of cool shit this is the way it looked in the 70s. It's nostalgic. So we have our fight. The two is certain to attract the attention of Spider-Man. So again, we're literally up to a part where Dr. O and Spider-Man are going to fight. Okay, Snake Arms, you've had it. I never thought Dr. O got to move so fast. I'm not through with you yet. Glad to hear it, Chuckles. A fella hates to feel unwanted. If I ducked a split second later, the only wall crawler is okay. So smash. Bang! Dr. Octopus is taking out a bunch of shit. Now, you can have during this fight, I mean, you can take out Commissioner Stacy here. If you wanted to. We could literally have in this particular scene the commissioner get fucking taken out. Or Spider-Man could save the commissioner. One man alone. So this is the whole thing. He smashes him into the chimneys. Oh, it's so depressing when I watch this. They fight. I should have done this months ago. I was always your superior mentally, physically, in every way, but luck was with you in the past. They really fight. He fucks him up. So it's kind of fun because that's the scene we're writing right now. These two fighting. I move too fast. Is what you think. So now the reason I wanted him in the glass shell is I wanted to take away the typical attacks where Spider-Man usually webs his tentacles or webs his face. I needed to get that out of the way so that Spider-Man doesn't have that advantage. So we're trying to write it differently so that Spider-Man can get fucked up here. But in a way, he wants to lose because he wants to figure out where Dr. O is hiding out. Your puny Spider-Man can't match my mighty tentacles. You may be right. I can't dodge all four of them at once. I was afraid this would happen. They respond to my every thought. My arms may look mechanical, but as if they were flesh and blood. They won't have a chance in the street below. Okay, so we see the debris is starting to come down. Everybody's gathered around. Now we're up on a high tower, so we can't do the typical, the debris coming down and Commissioner Stacy jumps in front of somebody. He's beating the shit out of Spider-Man. He's throwing him into shit. You die. Oh, so it doesn't happen yet. What happens the next issue? Death does come. He throws Spider-Man off the fucking... It's a great shot. He throws Spider-Man off the roof. So I don't know if we could do that in this one. This is the one where Captain Stacy dies. This is depressing. I know. All right, let's get it done here. We cut to nightfall over Empire City, where we see several drones, cameras, dirigibles, and floodlights all surrounding Oscorp Tower, which has, of course, been severed by Dr. O. Even with the city under ransom, even with the city under ransom, nobody could deny a good old fashioned fight night. Even with the city under ransom, nobody could deny a good old fashioned fight night. That is, my opponent if my opponent would choose to show up. I can only hope that my act of sudden impulse I can only hope that my act of sudden impulse would appeal to his ego and his need to show himself to the people he's trying to terrorize. He's attempting to terrorize. We cut to nightfall over Empire City, where we see several drones, cameras, dirigibles, and floodlights all surrounding Oscorp Tower. Of course, been severed by Dr. O. Even with the city under ransom, nobody could deny a good old-fashioned fight night. That is, if my opponent would choose to show up. I can only hope that my act of sudden impulse would appeal to his ego and his need to show himself to the people he's attempting to terrorize. Move this. One more. We cut the Spider-Man perched on top of a section of the rooftop wreckage, waiting patiently for Dr. O's arrival as he looks on at all the chaos and cameras around the tower. We cut the Spider-Man perched on top of a section of the rooftop. All right, so. I don't know how the commissioner would feel about this move, or Uncle Ben. But I think, but hopefully, but this may, but bringing him out into the open, just may be the way to end this tonight. But bringing him out into the open just may be the way. But bringing him out into the open, not just may be, but bringing him out into the open may be the way to end this night. No, to end this tonight. But bringing him out into the open may be the way to end this tonight. I like that. I don't know how the commission would feel about this move, or Uncle Ben, but bringing him out into the open may be the way to end this tonight. I like that. Let's get some absolutes in here. Suddenly cutting through a cluster of clouds like the spaceship in Independence Day, we see a large dirigible thrust over Oscorp Tower. The Doctor makes his grand entrance. As the Doctor makes his grand entrance, I can now see As the Doctor makes his grand entrance, I can now see why he didn't trigger my spider sense as I swung all over the city. No doubt more stolen tech. As the Doctor makes his grand entrance, I can now see why he didn't trigger my spider sense as I swung all over the city. I can now see why he didn't trigger my spider sense as I swung all over the city. No doubt more stolen tech. So in case I'm outmatched, I do have a backup plan. As the Doctor makes his grand entrance, I can now see why he didn't trigger my spider sense as I swung all over the city. No doubt more stolen tech. So in case I'm outmatched, I do have a backup plan. The canopy of the dirigible ship opens up and drops a large plasma EMP bomb over the tower. SFX of the EMP going off. As the bomb detonates, taking out all of the power around the Oscorp Tower skyline. So what does he say here? The canopy of the dirigible ship opens up and drops a large plasma EMP bomb over the tower. So we don't need any lines there. That's the bomb going off. Boom. That's a small panel. The bomb detonates, taking out all the power around the Oscorp Tower skyline. SFX of the power cameras and other ships losing power. Of the lights. Lights, cameras, and other ships losing power. Alright, so he will say, looks like my prime time debut would wait. Looks like my primetime debut would have to wait. The bomb detonates, taking out all the power around the Oscorp Tower skyline. Looks like my primetime debuts would have to wait. Looks like my primetime debut would have to wait. Nah, I don't like that. That's cheesy Japanesey. The bomb detonates, taking out all of the power around the Oscorp Tower skyline. Lights, everything goes out. And here I thought the doctor wanted to put on a show. And here I thought the doctor wanted to put on a show. And here I thought the doctor wanted to put on a show. Kick my ass with all of Empire City watching. And here I thought the doctor wanted to put on a show. Kick my ass with all of Empire City watching. Spiderman doesn't flinch as all of the floodlights, ships, and drones plummet away from the scene. He doesn't move as he waits for Dr. O. Kick my ass with all of Empire City watching. Spiderman doesn't flinch as all the floodlights, ships, and drones slowly plummet away from the scene. I don't like he doesn't move. Let's do something cooler. He flexes his web shooters into attack position, like a wrestler flexing his arms flexing his muscles as he waits for Dr. O. Okay, I like that. And here I thought the doctor wanted to put on a show. Kick my ass with all of Empire City watching. I guess he thinks he's gonna lose. God damn it. My OCD, but I can't stand when it's just one fucking line. So can we move something? No, we can't. All right. Yes, we can. All right, good. Yes. It was driving me fucking crazy. There we go. Kick my ass with all of Empire City watching. Unless he thinks he's gonna lose. So I like that. Spider-Man's cocky, or he's appearing to be cocky. Spider-Man doesn't flinch as all the floodlights, ships, and drones slowly plummet away from the scene. He flexes his web shooters into attack position like a wrestler, flexing his muscles as he waits for Dr. O. Unless he thinks he's gonna lose. So Spider-Man is cocky. You know what? We don't need to use two panels for this. Because he's waiting for Dr. O. Spider-Man looks up as Dr. O comes rolling out of the dirigible, descending towards Spider-Man. See, I like that. That's better. Let's move all this shit up. Because we ended up putting 6 panels on this page here. So we don't need 6 panels. Just go back to the original 7 panels. Go back to the original 6. Very good. Spider-Man looks up as Dr. O comes rolling out of the dirigible, descending towards him. Descending towards him. Inside his glass shell, his pod transforms, emerging 4 mechanical legs that hold him up like a spider as he faces off with Spider-Man. SFX of the transformation. Classic wrestler pose as Spider-Man leaps towards Dr. O in perfect attack formation. With an underhanded tactic, 2 smaller mechanical arms emerge like spears from the center of Dr. O's chair, Dr. O's pod, jutting out and into Spider-Man, taking him out like a battering ram. I like that. As Spider-Man is getting up, we see Dr. O plant 2 of his arms into the wall like hooks. In a swift motion, Dr. O's arms thrust him into Spider-Man like a wrecking ball, the glass shell nearly crushing Spider-Man against the wall of wreckage. I like it. Oh, I love it. All right, we need some dialogue. So, it's time to see the death of Captain George Stacy. I thought it was last issue. It's this issue. Which will suck because we don't get to use him anymore as a reference. I just don't want to kill him here because, again, I like the idea of having Spider-Man Commissioner Gordon, this Batman Commissioner Gordon-like relationship. As a matter of fact, in terms of the notes we get here, I don't know how the page is going to lay out, but let's put it into our notes so we don't forget. We might get it done on this page. But let's get this in the notes so I don't forget. Ugh. What can just do that? There we go. Even though Spider-Man loses the fight, his backup plan is to plant a spider tracer device on Dr. O as he is escaping. Commissioner Stacy and the cops will get to the rooftop before Dr. O can kill Spider-Man. And the commissioner will admonish Spider-Man for not involving him in the plan. Uncle Ben will ask Spider-Man why he feels the need to do this himself. So we got some good shit that we're building in terms of notes. It's either going to be Uncle Ben or Commissioner Stacy will have that guardian moment, that mentor moment of, why are you trying to do this all yourself? What do you have in this? What's your stake in this? And I kind of like that. So we got some good notes that we got today. And then I was swimming in the pool. And it's fun when you obsess over the story because you're just enjoying yourself and you want to make sure that it's the best fucking possible thing you put together. And you look at it like it's a fucking movie, you know? What happened here? All right. So, oh, we gotta refresh. 1 second. Read now. Here we go. So when we last left off, Dr. Octopus threw Spider-Man off the roof. And you see where we are? How we're lined up? Dr. Octopus and Spider-Man are fighting in this issue, and they're even fighting in our storyline. So what do we need here? We need some good fighting. We need some good taunting. But not nice enough. From here on in, it's a brand new ball game. The idea, let's look through it when they're talking trash to each other. I'm going to get his arms out of reach. I ought to be safe, and no. So they can think for themselves. They're still coming after me. Mustn't make a sound. I won't even breathe. Hesitating, confused. It's over for now, but wait, I can't afford to lose him. See? Oh, we get it right here. As long as my little Spidey tracer can hang in there unnoticed. Looks like the coast is clear. I'm aching all over. As if I was, I'd make sure a fella gets his time and a half. Joker with the arms, swashbuckling tradition. He's sitting there. What is he waiting for? Costume changing. Did he take any pictures? Did you get any pictures for J. Jonah Jameson? Spider sense is tingling. Captain George Stacy. Oh, their final moments together. What's wrong, Sung? Are you ill? You haven't licked that flu bug yet? You're right, sir. I guess I got out of bed too soon. Still, you haven't any fever. I thought that was it. Peter! And he sees it's Gwen Stacy. This kind of sucks. It's like it sucks because you know it's going to happen. This is that last moment we get with Captain George. I feel like a fool conking out that way. It's all right, my boy. It can happen to the best of us. You simply overtaxed yourself too soon after your illness. I hate being a spoilsport, Graham, but it'll be perfectly okay after this. I never known anyone with such amazing powers of recuperation. Ah. Wish you would just fucking tell him. Just tell him you're Spider-Man, you stupid cunt. So we know what's going to happen here. He's going to study a little bit. He's trying to work on a potion. I think he was trying to work on a fluid. He's working on some new weapon. So we got it. Firing button, Dr. Rock, the Spidey Tracer. All we need, he's swinging around. He senses him. Says, holy shit, here he is. Let's fight, you fuck. Him and Dr. Octopus fight it out to the death. 1 sec, we need some taunting. Clear to you by now in case it wasn't. Make it even clearer. I'm free. Not long enough. Guess what I'm doing? Harmless. Obey me. We're attacking each other. Let's see. They're battling up on that roof. They must clear the area. So we don't have this now. We're not ripping this scene off because the area is way too up top. We're not going to do the falling debris. We already did it the last issue where Spider-Man catches everybody, and there's how he dies. He moves the stupid little fucking kid out of the way. Spider-Man swings down. You've got to be all right, but he's not. I'm done for, son. No, you're not. There's a doctor in the next building. It's the fastest way I can get you there. Oh, my boy, it's hopeless. I have to talk to you. It's so little time. What is it, Captain? It's Gwen. After I'm gone, there'll be no one to look after except you, Peter. He called me Peter. Be good to her, son. She loves you very much. So this has been done in the movies with Dennis Leary and Andrew Garfield. We can't kill him. Not in this issue. Maybe next issue. It was an emotional issue. Spider-Man, of course, takes the blame. We'll end it there. Spider-Man looks up as Dr. O comes rolling out of the dirigible, descending towards him. And I hear the gears grinding. As I hear the gears grinding. As I hear the gears grinding. I don't need my spider sense to know that this is no robot. as I hear the gears grinding. I don't need my spider sense to know that this isn't a robot. The doctor As I hear the gears grinding, I don't need my spider sense to know that this isn't a robot. SFX of the transformation. I don't want to waste. Let's put the line here. The doctor was in the house. The doctor was in the house. As I hear the gears grinding, I don't need my spider sense to know that this isn't a rope. To know that this. As I hear the gears grinding, I don't need my spider sense to know that this isn't a robot. I don't need. I'll talk to you later, please. I don't need my spider sense to know that this isn't a robot. The doctor was in the house. Inside his glass shell, his pod transforms, emerging four mechanical legs that hold him up like a spider as he faces off with Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Doctor. Inside his glass shell, his pod transforms, emerging four mechanical legs that hold him up like a spider as he faces off with Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Doctor. What? What do we do here? Inside his glass shell, his pod transforms. All right, so he's landed. He's a fucking spider. Doctor. Oh, is it? I heard in some circles they called you Dr. Octopussy. But I'm counting, but I think the count is off. Nah, is he wise assing now, or this is a face off? I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. Doctor. Spider Man. Doctor. So I like this. Spider Man. Doctor. So you just leap at him? Inside his glass shell, his pod transforms, emerging four mechanical legs that hold him up like a spider as he faces off. Like I'm trying to see the art in my head. He's landed there. He's staring him down. Spider Man. Doctor. Let's not rest on pomp and circumstance, shall we? Doctor. Let's not rest on pomp and circumstance. Let's not rest on pomp and circumstance, shall we? And just fucking leaps out. Doctor. Let's not rest on pomp and circumstance, shall we? Classic wrestler pose as Spider-Man leaps towards Dr. O in perfect attack formation. Classic wrestler pose as Spider-Man leaps towards Dr. O in perfect attack formation. With an underhanded tactic, two smaller mechanical arms emerge like spears from the center of Dr. O's pod, jutting out and into Spider-Man, taking him out like a battering ram. Taking like a battering ram to the stomach. Here we go. See, it's like, I don't know what to write here in terms of dialogue. There really isn't dialogue here. This is action. And I like the way we laid out the action. As Spider-Man's getting up, we see Dr. O plant two of his arms into the wall like hooks. Should we have him put the tracer on right there? The cops would show up. Classic wrestler pose as Spider-Man leaps towards Dr. O in perfect attack formation. Maybe we'll use one more comic book to get some ideas of what to say here. With an underhanded tactic, two smaller mechanical arms emerge like spears from under the center of Dr. O's pod, jutting out into Spider-Man, taking him out like a battering ram to the stomach. So they can talk some shit. You could say, I learned this one from your friend Craven. With an underhanded attack, two smaller mechanical arms emerged. Craven was a fool, just like his son. I should thank you for taking care of him. No. Because Dimitri already said that. Craven was a fool, just like his son. Just like his freak of a son. Craven was a fool, just like his son. On the other hand, you, you have potential. With an underhanded attack, Craven was a fool, just like his son. On the other hand, you have potential. Nope. Oop. Screwed up here. So this is mainly action. You don't need too much exposition or too much dialogue, even just a little trash talking. Little fun trash talking. You, on the other hand, have potential. A mind is a terrible thing to waste now. True talent is a terrible thing to waste. You have potential. True talent is a terrible thing to waste. So you could either join me. True talent is a terrible thing to waste. So you could either join me. In a swift motion, Dr. O's arms thrust him into Spider-Man like a wrecking ball, the glass shell nearly crushing Spider-Man against the wall, not the wall of wreckage. I like it. So you could either join me or get out of my way. Hmm? Hero? or get out of my way. True talent is a terrible thing to waste. So you could either join me or get out of my way. As he crushes him, says, or get out of my way as he's crushing him. So again, your play on words. And ladies and gentlemen, that is lesson 3. Pages 5 and 6 are in the books. We'll be back in our next class with 7 and 8, where we can finish this fight scene. And we pretty much were starting to lay it out, so we're going to be nice and set up for the next class, which always makes me happy. May fate and fate decide your fortune if you're enjoying yourself. Buy a textbook, or better yet, buy something on the new Faro's Lounge Kickstarter. You see, I am 7.5% away from my goal of 20,000. Keep myself in the lifestyle I'm accustomed to. Every now and then, while I'm talking, the number changes, either up or down. But this just sucks, because this is when the hardest part about doing Kickstarter is that every month at the end, a couple of people drop out last minute and fucking drives you batshit. Because you always feel like you have that number in your head, and you're doing the math, and you're setting up your lifestyle, and sometimes it doesn't play out that way. Let's do a quick refresh. Maybe we're up there. Maybe we're up there. Maybe not. You gotta hold your breath at the end here, towards the fucking end that drives you crazy. But we're 7.5% away. 13 hours to go. Peace, love, and war. All that shit in between.